Hello, everybody. Tonight we will have the game between
Hans
Unique
is a
Esports.
cutie, not gonna cap.
Sorry, I didn't get what you just said.
He called you cute.
Oh, well, thank you, I guess. Let me just invite the member from the other team.
Not too bad for a French Canadian.
Yeah, I guess. If you're referring to my English, I had to work hard for that. But yeah, I cannot say that I'm displeased with the results. It's quite nice. So I'm trying to get the guys from Arson in, and we should be just about ready to go. So if that boy Doe doesn't answer, you know what? Y killer maybe. Don't have him as a friend. I don't have him as a friend either. So oh, and he just joined. Awesome. So that boy Doe is here. My overlay would be the wrong way around. So let's just switch that. Give me half a sec. Game here. Thank you, Mapman, for making this so easy. Oh, also let's hit update. Hitting update would help, I guess. Mr. Daddy Dead. What a what a gamer tag, or what a name, but still, Mr. Daddy Dead saying unique hype. Well, let's go Unique Esports. You guys can do this, but I, as caster, will have to remain neutral in order to, I'm the caster, but also the referee, right? So I cannot have a preference, or I cannot be partial here. This intro was brief, to say the least. Oh, that's the strand of hair that makes everything look weird. I'm due for a haircut. But all around, Arson Esports will be playing against Unique Esports. And if I was just to open up, a small parenthesis
Echo
here.
is banned out of play, right?
Yeah, Echo is not allowed. If I was to open up...
still, but he gets unbanned soon because they fixed.
Awesome. Yeah, so as soon as it gets fixed, we'll just finish the current week. Because, for example, we had a few games played already, and I could not have a different rule set for the previous game and for this one, But as soon as he gets unbanned, the next week, he's going to be allowed. Or as soon as he gets fixed, rather. So, yeah, the parenthesis I wanted to open up before the players ended up talking, which, of course, I had to take care of that, was today is, for our American friends out there that might not be aware of it, today's Canada Day. So it was a national holiday for us here in the north. And I don't know if it's a coincidence or simply because, but none of the Canadian teams are going to be playing tonight. Actually, the only two American teams of the competition singular will be facing off against each other. It is going to be best of one. We don't have many games lined up tonight. So, unlike Sunday evening, Monday morning, Monday evening, we had like 3 games back to back. So that was a packed schedule, but tonight it's not gonna happen. Firing up the stream for a single game, it happens. Cuts off the night, in half, but it is what it is. If I was to be curious a little, and if I was to open up the current standings, let's open it up real quick. There is going to be a little caveat. OnlyFans, they are tagged as having 4 victories, but the scores have been misentered during their last game. So they play against Dead Astronauts number 1 and Dead Astronauts normal, or Dead Astronauts second roster implied here. And, they have entered the scores both for Dead Astronauts number 1, Dead Astronauts regular. So this has falsified the current standings. If they end up not winning their game against Dead Astronauts, they'll have to open up a protest for, wrongly entered scores, and that will be fixed. So the only thing I'm trying to say here is, if I get into this overlay of this scene, ignore the fact that OnlyFans has 12 points. They're supposed to only have 9 so far. But other than that, Unique Esports, they have won their 2 previous games.
Do you know anyone named Phoenix?
Let me just... They have won their 2 games last week, whereas Arson Esports, technically they have won one of their games, but unfortunately they were not running Moss. Like, some of the players had issues with Moss, so I had no choice but to give them the defeat. But assuming they were not cheating, which once again we cannot prove due to the absence of Moss files, in theory they have earned a victory, which would still leave them, compared to Unique Esports, a notch lower, but nothing that is irrecuperable. Both teams are of a certain skill level, and I'm quite pleased to see this match tonight. It promises to be a good game.
Alrighty.
But for the time being, I don't have too much to say.
What do you
so
need done?
just
I just need a logo. That's pretty much it, and a Twitch banner.
Alright, that's gonna cost you guys the dub. Nah, but just message me on Discord.
I'll just go to Fiverr. Don't worry about it.
That was low-key big brain, bruh. I did not expect
Yo,
you to say that big brain. I'm
If
not
we
gonna
if
lie.
we give
I
you
like
the,
that.
if we give you the 7-0, you have to make 2 banners each and a logo.
Shit, if you guys give us the 7-0, I'll make each one individual logo, intro, and animated logo.
Okay, that seems like collusion now. That is looking fishy.
I want a customized logo per player. We'll talk.
Yeah, just message. No, but like if you guys are serious and you guys want logos, just message me on Discord. I can give you guys a Discord.
Alright, I'll
the
talk
game.
to our manager.
Okay.
For sure.
So yeah, Unique Esports, you guys are doing business. We have 4 players for Arson Esports in so far, so as soon as the last one logs in, we're going to be good to go. Unique Esports, well, they're already here, so really we're just waiting for the last one to join in, and we should be just about good to go. Also, I am quite curious on one front.
He's joining.
Because, so my usual... Oh, Fawn, you're not American. You're Canadian as well?
Nah.
Alright, you must be European then?
No.
I'm Canadian. The rest are fucking goobers.
Okay, I'm just confused then.
I'm Canadian. The rest of my team is American. But
Okay.
I was
Except
talking
me.
to them about MMG being also NA, and they said no, MMG is Canadian.
Yeah, I'm just technically Canadian. But I was confused because Fawn typed in the chat, I'm not Canadian, and I was like, wait, what?
Oh, I'm
He's
not
just being weird.
American. I'm not American.
He's Taco Bell.
Okay. They just get me confused. Taco Bell,
Yo, where
that's
Donovic at, bro?
American, right?
He, for whatever reason, confirmed he would be here, then did not show.
When he reads your message before...
Mirror's running
Donovic
a
vibes.
1990s computer right now to try and join. Sorry.
When he reads your message before but never pays attention to your name... I'm sure I read your name, Austiny. I saw you just like seconding your first message. So I did read it, didn't exactly acknowledge it. That's my bad on that front. But yeah. Yeah, I'm not sure if you're referring to me not reading the chat. I'm sorry, it's quite hard to keep a conversation going with the 3 minutes of delay that we have. For real, I should try to get like a dedicated observer and have him send me the clean feed or the game feed with a 3-minute delays baked into it. Therefore, I could stream regularly with no delay, and the stream snapping possibilities would still be cut off, and that'd be awesome. Oh wait, here. What did I do? What did I doodly do? So, a little checkup. Are you guys ready?
Unique's ready.
Awesome. Arson Esports, are you guys ready?
You ready,
Yeah.
Demir?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, everyone's
Awesome,
here.
awesome.
Chop
Just to make sure you guys have your
Coastline
mouse.
or Clubhouse?
Thank you. I would have missed it like I missed it 2
This
days
is
ago.
like Fragger's wet dream.
So yeah, just to be sure, Arson, you have Moss running this time.
Yeah, everyone has it.
Yes,
Awesome,
sir.
awesome.
Alright,
Alright.
1 second, actually. 1 second. Sorry.
Yeah. So just to finish up the parenthesis, I'm gonna talk when we're in game, because then the players are gonna stop inadvertently interrupting me. So let's just wait a few more dozen seconds and we should be good. So yeah, Unique, it's whenever you're ready.
I'm loading up my moss. I'm being slow today.
No worries.
I feel it.
We're at killer feeling him. So my usual co-host is not gonna be here tonight because he's casting a game for the Summer Cup on the exact same schedule as I am having this game right here. So yeah, this was kind of a funny coincidence. I would be the main and only actually real caster for the DAL, and he would be the main caster for Summer Cup. But since both of the leagues have a flexible scheduling policy.
Alright, we mossing now.
All right, well, good luck, have fun, and may the best team win.
Good luck, have fun.
Good luck, have fun.
So yeah, whenever there's a game for the
Good
Summer
luck,
Cup
have
that
fun.
and I'm not casting here, I always jump up over there and help out, and he does the same. But tonight we both have a game at the very same time, so there's gonna be that. So yeah, solo stream for tonight it is gonna be. I just checked up on him, and let's just reset the operator bans since they have not yet occurred. So, what are we gonna have? We are gonna have a Hibana ban. I want to say this map, out of every single map in Rainbow Six, feels like this. It feels to me like this is one of the maps where hard breaching is going to be at its weakest, right? There are some maps where you think to yourself, okay, if we don't get this hard breaching open, we are toast as the attackers, right? But it rarely, if ever, applies to Coastline as a whole. I mean, for example, Munting is going to be an odd ban as well, by the way. If you were to talk, for example, about billiards and hookah lounge, there's two walls that you might want to reinforce, that you might want to breach as the attackers. The one would be the wall by the aquarium area, and I mean, there's a door right next to it. So the idea would be just to cut off the one specific angle line of sight, and the other might be the wall from billiards to the indoor gardens or the interior garden. So if you're a Hibana on the roof, which is why you're gonna be seeing a Hibana ban here, but that's just about it. Kitchen, you know, in the downstairs area, not really, right? Blue bar, I'm not even mentioning. And last but not least, you would have the penthouse area. This would be the single bomb site where hard breaching would be a major factor in the attack. But then again, this is your least favorite bomb site, or most of the teams are gonna not, or most of the defense are gonna elect to go somewhere else simply because that is the weakest bomb site to defend. So yeah, Hibana has been target banned specifically to deny the opening of the wall to the interior garden from the roof from a distance. And it's going to be quite interesting to see how it's going to play out next season, actually, because Hibana, up until now, was the only operator that could hard breach from a distance. But now that Ace is going to be in play, you are no longer going to be able to just ban out Hibana and think to yourself, okay, well, this one wall is going to be safe. And that is bound to mix up the meta a little bit. Since adding a single hard breacher in and of itself, in a vacuum, nothing too major here, since you already have a few hard breachers into the game. But really, the novelty is going to be the fact that he's a second hard breacher that can open up from a distance. So that would be a major factor here. And no, lol, I've watched all unique games and you've read my messages. That was just the first time you read my name. The look on your face was... Oh, yeah. You know what's funny? I was definitely not wasting time and procrastinating this morning / earlier today, and I came across a post, and it was basically a guy live streaming, I believe, in a supermarket. So he was bound to be streaming from his phone or something. He was in line to get to the register, to pay presumably, and then he gets a subscription from somebody, so he reads the name and says thank you, and the name of the subscriber was This a Robbery. So of course the guy standing in line next to him turned around, kind of looking confused / a bit worried, and this was a good troll. It was a good troll. So yeah, this is why I kind of stopped to read your name and kind of found it funny, because I had this, not necessarily insight, but reference or memory in the back of my head. So is it just me? Bitmap is already inside. He gets a first kill. He's bound to get another one. Oh no, that silhouette, that silhouette is rotating, but there is a rotation by the aquarium area. So far, diffuser is already being planted. This insertion was extremely aggressive. You are going to have a few defenders right here, and they're going to try to get back in. They are going to get the kill on Nash. I honestly didn't expect that. He sees Jackal, he sees Nomad, but will be confused and stumble onto both. And there you go, Apostle, last player alive. He sees the Nomad, gets a second kill for his team, rather. He's bound to get a third, but that's just not going to happen right now. Problem is, diffuser is now planted, so what can he do? Apostle has no choice but to get back on site pretty quickly, and that doesn't seem too likely to happen because at this point, our Unique Esports, Arson Esports rather, they're going to have an extremely good positioning, right? So he has no choice but to, you know, walk forward slowly. That Nitro Cell is not going to do much, and it is already too late. Their round has already been won by Arson Esports, so that was a crazy strong opening for them. And there's not much I can say about that. I mean, the insertion was flawless. They found a weakness in the defensive setup. You know, one single operator went in, being Nomad, gets 1 or 2 kills, invites the rest of the teammates to join in, and that's how you get the round that we just saw. However, it kind of depended on a flaw in the defensive setup, like I just said, and therefore, assuming Unique Esports, you know, have a head above their shoulders, and that would be a French expression, I'm trying to translate word for word, assuming they have more than just 2 single cells in their brains, they should realize what went wrong, and the weakness that's been exploited, I would 100% expect to be patched next round, and therefore, I would 100% expect Arson Esports to have a harder time attacking next round. As we are going to be seeing another Hookah and Billiards defense, you couldn't see it up until just about now due to the replays, and the text has been on your screen for only half a second, but believe me, we are going to be seeing, once again, a Hookah Billiards defense. The composition, all in all, the setup is going to be extremely similar, if not exactly the same, actually. So, that is going to be making things interesting, because of course last round didn't work out, so Unique Esports will have to adapt, will have to innovate, but the innovation in and of itself isn't going to come from the composition or even from the initial setup, from what I could see, right? Reinforcements, rotation holes, castle barricades, Jaeger ADSs, you name them, they seem to be just about the same compared to last round. So it really is going to come down to the execution, or to the hold. Actually, execution kind of refers to the attack here. Arson Esports will be mixing things up a little bit. I believe Bitmap was playing Nomad earlier at the beginning of the game. But all around, the initial setup seems to be fairly similar, right? Of course, Arson Esports are shaping up to be attacking the B bomb site rather than, I don't know, for example, using the hatch on the roof and jump in on the penthouse area and then make their way into the OBJ. Which, of course, right, if you were to enter from the other side of the building, you would be maximizing your potential exposure to roamers. So by inserting yourself in the building on, you know, directly into the bomb site, it would make things theoretically a bit easier, but at the same time, you cannot hope for a stealthy insertion. So this is going to be a trade-off that Arson are making right here, and Bitmap already getting another first kill. On his left, there is going to be, I believe it is Austin Jaeger's silhouette right here. I don't believe he's been spotted. But here he's going to be peeking, gets a first kill. Will he get the 2K? There's a Twitch drone, so advantage of surprise is lost. And, of course, he just gets cut down immediately. Demra getting a nice kill. This is now a 3v4 situation. Unique Esports, all in all, even though they have lost the advantage... Oh, was that a Nitro Cell? That was not a Nitro Cell. Had it been a Nitro Cell, it would have been huge. But, unfortunately, it is just not going to be the case. Apostle saving Fond right here, getting the kill on the Y killer, but as long as he's going to be reviving his teammate, de facto, it's going to be leaving us with Smoke in a 1v3 situation. Not that Arson are going to be, you know, acting up on that, but still, had Smoke been killed at the very same moment, it would have left Unique Esports in a very tight spot. Vizcanio is right here, and he likely has heard the 2 or 3 steps when the guy here was running. I believe it was Apostle. Yeah, Apostle right here getting killed. So that's going to be a good kill for Vizcanio. He does not know where Fond is, and Fond is, of course, not going to make a single noise, and therefore his position is likely to remain unknown. He knows that the attackers are coming in, and he, in and of itself, is paralyzing 2 attackers. So as long as he's holding this angle, 2 players for Arson are not going to be able to push in. That flash will not affect him if it was not too close to, not care if he was looking at it or not. So that's good. Twitch right here is going to fall down. He's going to keep on spraying, but no, he gets cut down by Vizcanio, who gets an instant refrag, leaving us with Smoke in a 1v2 situation. However, you know, it is Smoke, so he can play for time pretty well. There's only 25 seconds remaining on the clock. He is going to try to deny the default plant, but Vizcanio is a bit too far out for it to really make an impact, unfortunately. And of course, he is going to be watched by your Jackal, who is going to get the kill, and therefore, Arson Esports are going to win round number 2. So this is exactly what I was referring to, right? Once you have patched up the obvious flaw in the previous defense, Arson Esports actually had to really fight for the control of OBJ and to get the diffuser down, which ultimately they were able to manage. So it kind of came down to a few kills here and there. I would tend to say that Arson Esports' refrags were really strong, whereas Unique Esports, for example, right here, Aquatic, no real refrag has occurred. Austin was just waiting out. He gets a kill. He gets refragged immediately. And it's this back and forth with Arson just having the upper hand right at the beginning that is going to be sealing the deal, I feel like. Because right here it was a 3v3 down to a 3v2, and the gap between the two teams was always only one single player. But it just so happens that Arson was always on top. So this is basically all I have to say. Nicely done by Arson. Unique, they were performing better than they did on round number 1. So assuming their performances just keep on going up, they will win a round eventually. But the thing is, they will have to win a round pretty quickly if they don't want to bleed out, and if they don't want to have, too tough of a hill to climb back. Because if they do, well, then things are not going to be looking too good for them. Imagine if it was to be, I don't know, a 4-1 situation. If it takes 5 rounds for Unique to win out their first point, then they will have too big of an advance to recover compared to Arson Esports, you know? So if we were to look at this current round, we are going to be seeing a Kitchen defense. Kitchen is going to be vastly different than last round. Not just because of this bomb site itself, which of course is going to mandate different reinforcements and all that good stuff, but the general playstyle is also, night and day. You're going to be seeing verticality play, Aquatic right here above the main window. Austin is also roaming at the top floor. With the hatch being opened, I would expect he's not exactly waiting for anti-roamers to push him, but rather he's going to be using the hatch to deny the entry through the main hall to the attackers. Apostle here inflicting some damage on Dimra. Nothing too major, but, still, that first firefight was won by him, even though he didn't get the kill, but Dimra is the one that gets the final laugh. You also do have a few anti-roamers ready, or at the very least setting themselves up. Dat Boido is going to be at the top floor. Dimra is not. Dimra with the Jackal would have been huge. Bitmap is also here, but he is prone on that, I want to say, ceiling roof thingy, and therefore, if he gets peeked from the main window, he is toast. He has nowhere to hide. Luckily for him, nobody is looking his way, right? Aquatic could easily just gut him down without a care in the world, but he's gonna get pushed by Zofia, and that is gonna clear up the way a floor below to open it, or to just rushing in through the main window. I mean, look at Jurogen, I want to say. I'm not sure. I'm afraid of butchering the pronunciation. And Fawn, no one is in a position to really deny an entryway in the OBJ right now, and Austin, of course, has his hands full as well. So things, once again, are looking very good for Arson Esports. Fawn has to pull back a little bit. Oh, that was destroyed. And this is going to be diffuser loss for the attackers, even though Austin finds himself in a 1v4, now 1v3 situation. Oh, no, don't reload at the wrong time. Unfortunate. I was going to say, having the diffuser might mitigate the advantage, the numerical advantage that the attackers had. Unfortunately for him, he is going to reload at the wrong time, which is going to allow Dat Boido to get a final kill on him, and thus winning Arson Esports yet another round. The gap between the two teams is getting bigger and bigger by the round. So once again, Unique, if they want to have a real chance at winning the game, they will have to stop the bleeding pretty quickly. Coming back from a 3-0 scoreline is still doable, but less likely than coming back from, say, a 2-0 scoreline. So
Attackers have located a bomb.
yeah, I don't want to say I'm pessimistic because the game is still very early on, but all in all, you could say the map favors the defense, which, I don't know, it's not one of the least balanced maps out there, that's for sure. But the thing is, there's strategy, there's setup, and then there's gunfight and general game sense, And on that front, I feel like Arson Esports are the bigger team, so far at least. Their refrag game is really good. Their team cohesion is outstanding. And so far, I see Unique Esports. I don't want to say that they're stuttering, but I see them trying a few different things and always, you know, switching things up, which would seem, or which would to some extent indicate, that they're not exactly sure as to what's the best plan of action, right? Arson Esports' playstyle, for what it's worth, remains pretty consistent. And it's both a blessing and, you know, a drawback, since of course they're going to be making themselves predictable for Unique Esports. And right here, Fond is absolutely ready for a spawn kill. Oh, just get out there. He's gonna destroy the barricade, but it's too little too late at this point. Apostle also receiving some pressure, but nothing too major for the time being. His position is likely to be known though. And that gap is going to allow him to, you know, get a few shots in earlier than he would have been able to otherwise. But it is actually going to translate into a kill. Nicely done. To be honest, didn't expect him to get that kill too much. He had been droned out. He is static. He's not moving, you know, so that opens him up to a pre-fire, which we know are, you know, vastly superior to statically holding an angle like he does, no matter how tiny or how narrow it is. Plus, the constant droning is going to allow for his position to be constantly known, and this is going to allow a flank coming from bitmap to pan out and to get a kill. However, the attack, Arson Esports, this time around, they are pretty tightly grouped together, you know? Dat Boy and a few others were all basically entering through the blue bar, and that made their positioning not necessarily predictable, but limited in scope, since they were all at the same spot, you know? So they all worked on outflanking the one defender, the one apostle, which admittedly worked out, but it left them bunched up together for the upcoming firefights. And right here, Fon has not been... oh no, you knew their job was there. Why didn't you shoot it? And that is going to cost him his life. Vizcaino is going to be reloading, but as soon as he's done with that, he is going to be lining up to get another kill. Unfortunately for him, he dies, losing the diffuser for his team. That is going to be huge. Aquatic seems to know that. He tosses a camera as soon as he gets the kill, but since he gets refragged, diffuser should be fairly easy to recover for the attackers. We had another silhouette at the top floor. That's going to be Austin, who could still contest that, you know, prevent Timra from bringing it back in the OBJ. But it doesn't seem like he's going to try to do that. So what can you do? Dat Boy, though, is going to be in the hallway. Once again, exposed. But Austin firing off a few bursts. Not hitting too much. So that's going to be your Jaeger getting another kill. Dat Boy, last player alive, has to push an OBJ. There's only 45 seconds remaining on the clock, and he's alone. So what can he do? You know, getting the 2K is still very possible. But you can really see that he expects actively somebody to run up behind him. He seems very hesitant about his left flank, and that is gonna make it so that he cannot just actively rush into the OBJ. He is too afraid for his backs, so he is gonna be extremely, I want to say, hesitant about just about any move he might make. And this is gonna be a major pain, and therefore he didn't rush just in. He left more than enough time for Austin to rotate back behind him to get the kill on him. And you know, this is where I want to say his hesitation cost him his life. If he was to just rush in, get the kill on Jaeger on the OBJ, then he could have crouched behind some piece of cover and watched the doorway like a hawk. And at that point, Bandit would have had very little chances of actually getting the kill. But by hesitating, by not moving fast enough, and what he feared, he made it happen, basically. Which, in and of itself, is going to be unfortunate. But the good news is, if you are Unique Esports fans, like most of the streams, or most of the chat seems to be, well, Unique Esports, they just won their first round. So, like I said, the bleeding, they had to stop it. The bleeding has now officially stopped. Is it going to be a one-off thing, or are they really on their way to, you know, winning a few rounds back to back and to bringing the scoreline back to an equilibrium state? I couldn't tell you yet. I mean, that's what we're here to see. But for this time being, you had to start somewhere, right? And that is basically going to be step number 1. If we were to look at step number 2, you wouldn't be too surprised to see them coming back to their primary bomb site. So, of course, your objective, your main goal would be to win out your rounds on the easiest bomb sites of them all, which, once again, would be the top floor area. They are going to try to do so, and compared to last time, the composition and the setup is going to be vastly different. I don't know if it's by mistake or by design, but that wall right here hasn't been reinforced, and rather They seem to have been reinforcing somewhere else. Yeah, right, because they have... I cannot say that they didn't reinforce at all. They have used their panels just, yeah, in the sunrise bar. And they definitely are going for a stronger hold on that part of the map. It's not a coincidence, right, that the two operators with the nitro cells are going to be roaming downstairs. Oh no, this is extremely dangerous. Aquatic not getting the kill here. That's unfortunate. Somebody was right here and he saw him. And yet, no kill is gonna occur as a result of that. Dimra is putting some pressure on the window, but I don't expect him to see and to frag out anybody. And Y-Killer is already cutting off some rotations with the air jabs. So, right now, I don't see anybody directly on B, and I don't see anybody on A neither. So what does it mean? All the defenders are either roaming, and that can be huge. He can get a double. He does not insist too much to get a frag on Y-Killer, which is probably wise. But still, this was a huge run out by your Fawn right here. Austin, apparently is still spotted. Bitmap trying to get the kill on him, but he's just not gonna have any luck at doing so. What can you do next? Viscanio is gonna be on your aquarium balcony, droning out, looking for some danger, and Fawn right here is gonna appear just in time to shoot down the drone. But it is going to be the IQ, so he could know in real time where Fawn is. Will Fawn run out? He will, and that will be playing in Viscanio's hand. Just being too aggressive is not the best thing, you know, all around when you don't know what you're jumping into. So, Y-Killer inserting himself into the hallway right here. I don't know if Apostle has been spotted out, because if he has, Y-Killer is definitely not looking in his direction. Neither is Apostle, and the nade is not going to get tossed. That's going to be a good kill, and Diffuser once again lost for the attack, and this time Y-Killer knows that there's going to be a threat in the general area. Will he push behind that breaching charge, or is it just a bluff? It seems to be a bluff. No, the other one is not. I don't know why he opened up the second wall here to open doors, so to speak. Now he can either push in from the memorial area or from the breached wall. And he's gonna get the first kill on the Apostle through Hall of Fame, not memorial. My bad on that. The diffuser would be right outside. He is going to recover that, but still, he now has 20 some odd seconds to execute an actual push. In a 1v2 situations, with the cameras all around, you know, there's going to be bulletproof cameras, Valkyrie Black Eyes, and all that good stuff. Feeding intel, allowing Austin to wait yet another round. This is going to be round number 2-1 for the defense. They are still disadvantaged. You know, they're still lacking, they're still a point down. But the gap is slowly but surely shrinking. We are now going to be seeing the last round before the role swap. And with any luck for the defense, it would be an equilibrium that we're going to be seeing for the role swap. So a 3-3 scoreline would basically reset the scores, so to say, since at the role swap, well, nobody's going to have the intrinsic advantage, which in and of itself would be quite interesting to see. Since, you know, if one team really is able to dominate the other, it leaves very little room for suspense or you know, surprise. When you already know who's gonna happen, the match is just so much less exciting. So there you go. Austin's little flank here was nicely done, nicely executed, but of course he had intel to work off on. So the accuracy, you know, his no, that's really French was saying his shoot to refer to his accuracy is really a French way of speaking. Yeah, his accuracy, reaction time, all that good stuff was neat, but at the end of the day, he knew exactly what he was jumping into. So, if we were to take a look at that last round, they have one in the kitchen, they have one in the hookah lounge, so they have no choice but to go Sunrise Bar.
5 seconds to insertion.
Or, well, they could have gone Penthouse instead, but of course we don't expect them to do so. So there you go. We're now going to be seeing a final attack for Arson Esports. What are they going to do? So the interesting thing here is they have basically every single round tried to, or every single round in the kitchen, most of the rounds, they have tried to enter through the Sunrise Bar. So there are no strangers to attacking that area in and of itself, but the key difference between this round and the previous ones would be that this time they're actually pushing into the objective when they try to get into Sunrise Bar. So even though they've tried and arguably succeeded quite often by pushing this area. They were not expecting this stiff of a resistance because, of course, Unique Esports, if they were to lose the Sunrise bar, they'd have nowhere to fall back on. Bitmap is going to be pushing the top floor. You are going to be seeing an aquatic right here. Destroying the drones, but receiving pressure. That's going to be quite dangerous of him, but he does get the kill. The shotgun will seal the deal, but he's likely to be pushed. I thought it was White Killer Sword, but it's going to be Viscanio's. Viscanio here. Do you want to toss in a flash? That could help. Oh, he's already out of utility. That's unfortunate. But the thing is, the attackers are inserting themselves. Now he was in a 1v3, gets a kill in a 1v2 situation. Shotgun is going to be making some renovations to the building, but nothing more. The diffuser has once again been lost for the attackers, but that boy can recover it pretty easily. Are we going to be seeing a nitro sub be tossed? Yes, but that boy has been rushing in just as the nitro sub got lobbed into the room, and therefore he was able to evade that, which is ultimately going to allow him to get the kill. The only problem is he's now finding himself in a 1v3 situation. Without the diffuser, his position seems to be relatively unknown. I mean, they know he's up there, right? They're looking at the hatch, but that's a foot, and Austin is going to get the kill by doing so. So yeah, that boy though was just too weak. A single bullet in the foot was enough to put him down. Unfortunate, but it is what it is. So we're going to be seeing the 3-3 scoreline just in time for the rule swap after all. And like I said, that's quite interesting. One thing I do want to point out though is Arson Esports won 3 rounds in a row, and Unique Esports did just the same right after that. What I mean by that is we're not exactly seeing a back and forth. We're seeing momentum switching and shifting. So Unique Esports, now they should be, you know, I don't want to say high, but exalted after having won multiple rounds in a row. And that momentum, in theory, could just keep on going now that they're attacking. That was item number 1. Item number 2 is, it might also just have been simply to the fact that Arson Esports, they maybe were a bit more ready, or Unique Esports may have needed a bit more time to, you know, wake up, or to actually warm up, I think would be the better term here. After having warmed up, are Unique Esports really the best of the two teams? It remains to be seen, right? Arson, now that they're defending, this might change, you know, shift the sides, or simply because they now will have the advantage of surprise, meaning that their defenses are not already known, and that is likely to be a factor that should help them win a round or two. But ultimately, we'll have to see. Dimra, if I may allow myself to just critique or question your strategies for, you know, 30 seconds here. Since Hibana has been banned, the only operators that could hard breach this wall, once again since Ace is currently banned, would have to rappel up there, and that would leave them sorely exposed. You know, White Killer here could easily get the kill on them, so I'm not exactly sure if those bandit batteries on that particular wall are going to be necessary, but it is what it is. We're already going to be hearing a first few shots. Jaeger will be the first one to bite the dust to Unique Esports insertion, and first blood will happen. That's going to be Viscanio taking another great deal of damage. Luckily for him, White Killer is standing right next to him, so he can not revive him, but heal him back to full health. So he's going to be ready to receive some more pressure. But all in all, this was an uncontested victory for Unique Esports. They won a kill. They were able to deplete Dox's utility, so he used 2 stim shots on Viscanio and then the last one on himself. And it cost next to nothing to Unique Esports, right? Who actually got the kills? I believe it was Apostle or Fawn. I'm no longer sure. But the point is, they took no damage whatsoever. And their position, if it had been known, Arson didn't act up on that, so they might since have moved, making that, you know, utility or intel that blue team had on Unique, well, just invalid at this point, right? Aquatic is going to be playing a somewhat of a dangerous game since he's technically exposed to the blue staircase, but after all, that's why Fawn is going to be right here. And we're also going to be seeing not just Aquatic, but somebody else. Oh, that's Fawn also looking at the ceiling. It is going to be, you know, a slight. Oh no, don't mess up, don't goof up with a frag grenade if you're flashed like that. Okay, he didn't toss it in himself. That's the good news. The bad news is he's likely to be expected. I mean, Smoke must have been in the general area to toss out that toxic babe, and White Killer is also going to be holding the angle. Quebec is saying it is what it is. Yeah, I may have been using this this expression as a crutch. You know how your brain works when you're searching for a word, and you tend to say, or regular people would say, when looking for an idea or a word or something. I try not to do in the middle of my sentences because it doesn't sound too good. So I'm gonna use basically a generic expression that means nothing, just to give me some time to basically replace the sound. And the thing is, with Doc having depleted his utility, he no longer is in a position to just revive that Boido. He or Dimra will have to go there and do it the old-fashioned way, which in and of itself isn't going to be too much of a deal, since they did have the upper hand. And now that Smoke has tossed in his, I would believe, last Toxic Babe, Apostle cannot plant, right? So he's going to have to push in, gets a first kill. This second one is not going to happen. And this is going to leave us with Arson Esports winning round number 7. So, like I said, it was not exactly back and forth. It was just a landslide of rounds won for either teams. And it seems like Arson Esports are back in the game. It was only their first defense, so it yet remains to be seen if they will be able to win out a few in a row. But for the time being, they are in the lead once again. This is, a factor, knowing that you have the upper hand. You can allow yourself to win a round, lose a round, win a round, lose a round, and thus make sure that you just stay on top. These teams seem to be fairly tight or fairly close skill-wise. So even having only a single point of advance compared to your opponent might be the difference between a victory and a loss at the end of the game. Though we're not yet there, it still could end up being like that. One thing's for sure, after having won in the hookah lounge, you have to go somewhere else, and without any surprise in the world, Arson are gonna go in the kitchen and service entrance air a bomb site, right? You wouldn't expect them to go blue bar or even penthouse. And to be honest, and I'm going off of a tangent here, but Penthouse used to be the favorite bomb site on this map. It used to be the bomb site that was the most often defended and the most often played. And how the mighty have fallen. This just goes to show how well Ubisoft are at switching the meta completely with every single round that comes. And that's an observation. Ultimately, I don't want to say pointless, but it doesn't have too big of an impact on the game right here. Just to say, this map has been in the game for a very long time at this point, and yet it is still changing and evolving. Arson will be playing Blitz. We haven't seen that before. Oh no, Dimmer is right here. He could be mounting some tremendous pressure on them, but he will be conceding some space instead and falling back. Gets a nice headshot on Apostle through the wallbang. That's going to be your Jackal down, running in at the wrong time. Could be your death, and it is going to cost him. That's unfortunate because he had the Nitro Cell. A huge piece of utility to take Austin out is going to thus be lost by the attackers. How unfortunate it is. Bitmap will be the next one to be trying to defend the top floor, but Aquatic will be putting a short end to that as well. So that round is shaping up to be fairly favorable to Unique Esports. Viscani was not on bomb site. White Killer is not on OBJ either. So the verticality is only likely to get the kill on that Boido, if it even gets a single kill to begin with, right? Since I'm always saying this when I'm seeing a vertical play being executed, but you are going off of basically luck when you're just breaching the floor at random with a buck or a sledge, buck in this instance. So you really need to have a drone to know where to blow up the ceiling. Unfortunately for them, Unique Esports do not have this kind of intel at their disposal, and therefore Aquatic was basically tossing his firing his shots at random. Unfortunately for him, that Boido was stuck between two different lines of fire, and that's going to be the end of him. Vizcanio is the last player alive. He's going to be short on intel. He seems to be thinking, or seems to be under the impression, that there's still somebody up the top floor, and he could 100 times get the wallbang on Austin. He does not get it, and Austin himself will be returning fire and getting a few shots off him. Was that even a wallbang headshot? It was. The unexpected thing is, it was with a pistol, so you have a very limited firepower, bullets in the mag and all that good stuff. So you wouldn't expect him to get that, but the kill ended up happening, and that is going to be a nice round 1 for Unique Esports, who are defiantly going to keep the scores fairly tight, fairly close. They don't want to allow Arson to get a lead or get ahead like they did at the beginning of the game, and therefore I do want to say, now that both teams are in the game, an overtime situation might even be somewhat likely, and I would not be against that in the slightest. But we are still a few rounds away from that hypothetical situation turning into actual reality. So let's see what this next round has in store for us.
Attackers need to locate and defuse as many
We
bombs
are
as
going to
they
be
can.
seeing another kitchen defense.
Attackers have discovered
After
the
all,
location of a
Arson
bomb.
just lost here. But they seem to be learning from their mistakes, since the composition is going to be vastly different. So we're not going to be seeing a Valkyrie, we're going to be seeing Viscanio play your Ella instead. White Killer, I believe he was not on Vigil either. I couldn't tell you who he was playing last round, however, and Dimra is also going to be playing Motzi. So Dimra, Viscanio, and White Killer are likely to be roaming, or
10
at least
seconds remaining.
they have operators that I would expect to see roaming. But the tragic thing is, you not only have one Nitro Cell, and you still do have a shield in the attacking team, so that blitz could be a huge problem. Austin, with the drone already in the home theater, will know that Dimra is setting up a defense over there, but it remains to be seen if he wants to do anything about that. Because as far as I know, they could just think to themselves, let Dimra waste his time upstairs, and let's just push in the OBJ as quick as we can, thus forcing the defenders to have a retake situation for those roamers. But that doesn't seem to be happening. The flash will be tossed, not gonna get anything down. But there you go. You have to try it, right? Nonetheless, Viscanio, Dimra, and White Killer are going to be in the general area. Quade is going to get the first kill. He will be receiving some damage done to his person in return. But at the end of the day, he is alive, and White Killer cannot boast the same claim, right? Viscanio is pulling back, so Bitmap seems to be the one that's going to take up the flag, basically, and he's gonna get the kill. But all in all, I have to ask, what was the point in doing the switch? Because you were still holding the exact same area, just with another gun, and yeah, it makes sense because Bitmap, of course, has a gun with a better range than Viscanio. But all in all, the pressure is not going to be coming from the main entrance. It seems to be coming from side entrance. And is somebody in a position to deny an entryway from that side? Answer is, nah, not exactly. Dimra is going to be fairly close, flashed as he is, but he is not holding the angle. And in the immediate sense of the word, there's nothing preventing the attackers from just running in, which is exactly what Austin is currently doing. That boy seems to know that, but he will die as soon as he tries to prevent anything. Austin with a shield on his back, that likely to save his life. Bitmap pushing in. There's no way an air jab thus cutting off any retreat. He has to destroy it. He does get it down. It was trivial after all. Viscanio getting the kill on his own on Apostle. Running out. There's no air jab right there with heavy pre-fires. He stopped firing at the wrong time, but Bitmap is once again last player alive. He has now just about 10 seconds to get the kills on the 3 remaining attackers before destroying the diffuser, and that is going to be really unlikely at this point. And there you go, the round is lost. He's also going to lose his life. Unique Esports winning round number 9. And they are now trailing ahead for the very first time since the beginning of the game. This is going to be looking pretty good for them. However, their attack was pretty good. It has become, I don't want to say stale, but repetitive compared to last round. So if they were to try that one more time, it likely would fail. I mean, not because it's not a good attack or anything, but simply because it's become predictive at this point. Predictable at this point. But the overarching or bigger problem that Unique Esports are likely to face is simply the fact that they just won 2 rounds in a row down here. By extension, it's been 2 rounds in a row that we've been in the kitchen area, and therefore Arson Esports can go hookah again. And trust me, they are gonna go. They're gonna do just that. I'm a bit too tired here. I'm stumbling and making a bit too many English mistakes tonight. I'm so sorry. But still, so we're going to be seeing another Billiards defense, which of course Arson were able to win the last time they defended here. So if we were to look at historical data, things are looking good as far as this round goes for them. That would be item number 1. Item number 2
10 seconds left.
would be regarding the defense itself. It is going to be the exact same as last time. So once again, I had talked about bitmap electrifying this. I mean, there is a Hibana ban, so and that wall not being reinforced is going to be intriguing as well. Although Arson are not playing smoke this time, the idea is Smoke can just toss a smoke grenade right here, and you know smokes are going to glitch through the wall, and it would deny the default plant. But with having this wall reinforced, the attackers shouldn't be in a position to just plant behind the pool table itself. However, without the reinforcement, or the reinforcement of the wall, such guarantees cannot be made. One thing's for sure, White Killer will be the first one to receive any amount of pressure. He gets a nice first kill on Fond, but the next one is going to be your Blitz. And thing is, White Killer is not equipped to deny the entryway for a Blitz. He's gonna get tagged. Blitz knows that there's nobody in the area. Are you really putting down barbed wire? How aquatic are you still alive? That was a great risk to take. Luckily for him, he's still alive, but it could have been a really unfortunate death. On the other side of the map, you're going to be seeing Apostle taking a huge amount of damage. He's going to be responding with just as much damage to Dimra as he took, and that is going to be a 3v4 situation. So Fawn and Juro Jin, have been killed. White Killer right here above his teammate's shoulder will be shooting at Austin's kneecaps, and that's really Blitz's, I want to say, Achilles heel. Literally, just shoot at his Achilles heel or his kneecaps. It works just as well. And this is how you can get him down. Right here, White Killer is going to be taking some amount of damage. He has the ACOG. He can heal himself. Nothing too dramatic. But the thing is, the health pool on Unique Esports is getting quite dramatic. Aquatic is still at full health, but that's just about it. Oh, no, prone like that. He is opening himself up to a heavy pre-fire. It could be the end of him. Or even an Natural Zone is going to get 2 kills. That's a triple kill in total for Bitmap. Apostle, last player alive with, 1 bullet worth of health remaining. He cannot allow himself any mistake whatsoever. And thing is, he has 4 kills to get. The 2 pieces of good news I could find are, first of all, his position seems to be unknown. So advantage of surprise would still be possible. And item number 1, apparently I was wrong on that front. And item number 2 was he still had a lot of time. But time is going to be meaningless when you are gone for. Unfortunately, Bitmap is going to put an end to this round, which is going to lead us to having a 5-5 scoreline. And yeah, the overtime situation seems ever more likely. At this point, basically, the last question that we're going to have is, can either of those teams win 2 rounds in a row? And if the answer to that was to be yes, no matter which team it is, that team is going to win. Because if we don't see a 7-5 scoreline, by extension, we're going to be seeing a 6-6 scoreline, which would imply the overtime situation. And I know I'm putting a really heavy emphasis on historical data. But that back and forth, we have just seen it in the last 3 rounds. We just saw Arson Esports win a defense in the hookah, thus going kitchen afterwards, losing there twice, and they went back up into hookah. But if they were to lose 2 kitchen defenses in a row right here, right now, it would lead to Unique Esports' victory on this map. So, yeah, good luck, Arson, and let's hope you're able to change up your defense here, because whatever you did last time you went here didn't work out, and you cannot allow history to repeat itself. Because if history was to repeat itself, it would imply that you lose the game, basically, which is basically the worst thing that could happen to them. Of course, Unique Esports' situation is, I don't want to say just as dire, but they are basically in the same situation. They too have 5 points, and they too have to deny 2 rounds 1 in a row to Arson Esports at all costs. Valkyrie Viscanio here has been spotted outside, so of course Unique are going to know that there's going to be a Valkyrie Black Eye out here somewhere. The piece of bad news is simply that there's no IQ, so you cannot know exactly where it is. And if it is like right here, which I cannot see it right now, but you know where it is, The thing is, the attackers will be exposing themselves to the side entrance if they were to shoot at the camera. So turning your backs to basically the defenders would be a great risk. So I'm not even sure if they're going to try to destroy the camera. I mean, at this point in time, the Twitch drone would be the best idea out there. But Twitch is not in the composition, just as IQ is. So this is going to leave us with a dilemma for Unique Esports, at the very least. But for the time being, we're going to be seeing a top floor push at the same time. And Juro Jin, god damn it, I'm always making the same mistake. For the life of me, I cannot read gamer tags properly, I swear. Juro Jin has gotten the kill in bitmap. Taking smoke out at the very first opportunity is going to be huge. Now that you also have White Killer down, it is going to leave us with a 3v5 situation. And now you're also going to be losing Dimra. 2v5, things are looking extremely good for Unique Esports. Sophia trying to push in, that is just not going to work, unfortunately. And now that Vizcanio is done for as well, it would be the perfect time to get an ace, but it's just not going to happen. Unique Esports are going to find themselves in a match point situation thanks to a flawless round. Things could not be better for them. They have not yet won, and I mean, the comeback situation is still technically possible, but just like I said during the round, historical data would suggest that they are finding themselves in an extremely strong situation. At this point, if I was Arson Esports, I would try to go somewhere else, and they seem to know it. They are going to go in the penthouse and theater bomb sites. So this is unheard of as far as this game goes. We have never seen a defense in that area before, and it's going to be quite interesting to see how it pans out. I had touched up on that pretty quickly earlier on. That bomb site used to be the single best in the map, but it has fallen out of favor pretty heavily since, you know, since the past few years at this point. So how are they going to make this bomb site viable would be my question. One thing is for sure, Unique Esports are very unlikely to be expecting to be pushing into that bomb site. So I would be quite interested to see how it's going to pan out. They're going a proximity alert is going to come down here. This kind of reinforcing those walls. Sometimes you're going to see an extended hole. For example, you can open up, that's it, you can open up this wall right here, that wall right here, and hold the bedroom from the pool area, but that is extremely rare to see, so I'm not too surprised. But they are going to go for the basically turtle strat. Oh, are you going to be tossing a camera in here? No, it's going to be a proximity alert. Still, quite clever. It's going to be pretty well disguised and hidden up. Bitmap. Expecting a spawn kill, and Apostle has spawned the right side to be the victim of such a spawn kill, but he seems to be droning, making it so that I would not expect him to get the kill. And oh my god, he is going to be alive, but by a small margin. He's lucky to not have taken a bullet to the head here. Is there a silhouette right here? Juro Jin. There you go, now I got it. Juro might be pushing in through Sunrise Bar, apparently not. Bitmap for the time being is basically in a flatter fight situation, and he decided to flee, which would probably be the right answer here. So the good news is he is using up Jackal's utility. He is remaining alive, and he's costing the attackers a bit of time. Nothing too dramatic, nothing too much. Why the smoke though? Why the smoke? Couldn't tell you, to be honest. Oh, but attack as he is, he could get a kill through verticality right here. He is gonna see Bitmap, but Bitmap is also gonna be seeing him. But it just so happened that Jackal wins the round, or the gunfight. That boy though, if he's not cautious, could be exposed to Austin's rappel on the window right here. So he really cannot peek that. And that natural shot could be huge if he gets it down. He's gonna try as he may though. No, he's not gonna even attempt it. The PC utility is just too valuable to be tossed at random. Thing is, Zofia was able to drop down in the meantime, and I'm not sure if that boy is aware of that. He seems to have been, since he tossed it out the natural sub. White Killer is gonna fall to Fawn's fire, but all in all, even though Arson still are the uncontested rulers of the bomb site, that changes just about now as that boy falls to the attacker's fire. Vizcanio, the last one on site itself. Oh, Dimmer was able to come back. That is going to be huge, but still, they're finding themselves in a 2v4 situation. That natural side could get the kill. It does, and as such, it denies the planted diffuser. He's going to get another kill at the same time, leaving us with a 2v2 situation, and diffuser lost for the attackers. The rotation is also cut off, so and Fawn is now in a down but not out situation. Austin, last player alive, gets the first kill on the red. There's going to be Dimmer. He's going to wallbang that out of ammo. He peeks with the pistol and gets the kill. Unique Esports will win round number 12 and will win the game. But what a round, what an ending. That was amazing. Oh, and we're also going to be seeing the Ash Elite. Aquatic saying, ranked playstyle makes my head hurt. Their respect though, guys, please stay respectful. But there you go, Austin 15 kills, Fond 10, Apostle 11, and then it drops down, whereas on the defensive side, 12, 9, and then 7, 7, 3, it dropped down pretty dramatically, a bit too quickly for their own good, I want to say. So that was... That was the game. It was a nice game, to be honest. I really enjoyed the ending here. It was tense. Just as tense as we like them to be, right? So yeah, nice try. I'm just being confused here because the players are talking in the game lobby at the same time, so I'm trying to cast, but it's not easy for me. Not easy for me. So GG's on that front. And yeah, well, thank you guys. GG's to you. It was a nice game. Both teams tried their best. They almost went into overtime. The final round was extremely tense. Was extremely tight. You know, ending up in a 1v1 with the pistols out. That's what we like seeing. Unique Esports ended up winning. So GG's to you. And yeah, do you guys want to do a winner's interview? Unique, can you hear me?
I was gonna say last round got really hectic.
Yeah, it did.
Yeah, we got through there.
You want to do the interview?
Like 5 rounds.
Do you want to do the interview on Discord or here in the lobby?
Up to you.
Well, we can see here.
Preferably.
Discord.
Okay. So, yeah, White Killer and the other remaining Arson Esports players. GG's, nice try. And with a bit of luck, you'll be able to win it out next time. But they left before I could end my sentence, so there's that.
We came into this game being strong. We like prepped every map, right? Because we don't know what to expect.
Oh yeah.
Can't read them. And so we prepped every map. We really thought so our manager does our bans, and we know Coastline is our strongest map. That's saying something.
Okay.
Coastline is Coastline, and we didn't know what to expect from them because they haven't played it a lot, and they.
Okay, so you had a tough time scouting them out basically for Coastline.
Yeah, because we were just gonna insta ban it, but time didn't we were all short on time, and our Coastline, not her fault or anything, not any
Fuck you, Izzy.
Well, I mean, it is kind of her fault for not banning Coastline, but I assume there were good reasons behind that.
And also, we were when we started the match, we were like, all right, let's go in with the strats. We have set up strats not.
Oh yeah.
And we were like, let's just go with the general strat. And
okay.
they just ignored all that and started playing really gun heavy. So you can see in the 4th round where we picked up 3 defense rounds in a row, we just switched, turned off our brains. I went Vigil, we went Jaeger, we went Legion, we went guns basically. We didn't bring. Only thing we brought was Valk, and that was for information so we could take gunplay.
So you really just ignored utility as a whole. You really just went in for the kills.
Yeah, cause
basically,
that's all they did at the beginning, and we were like, we can out monkey them if they want to go this route. That's what we did basically.
I see.
Because the first 3 attacking rounds, all they did was run Ash, have 2 people drone, and Ash just runs in. And they just had people peek sometimes. Half the gunfights that we took was without intel whatsoever. So we just said we'll just play the same game back, but we'll do it better.
I see, because yeah, I was I saw their first rounds. You know, the 3 first rounds that they won were really good. I mean, like refrags and that kind of stuff. I felt like they had, you know, better gunfights than you. But then you were able to turn this around. But all in all, you were never like worried, or you never really thought
Not
they
at
were
all.
were able to win it out against you.
Not at all. Like you saw the chat last round. He said, "I'm surprised you killed me." I'm like, I'm not. You know, I your dog, and I just killed.
Can we just talk about round number 9 when I don't remember who was Blitz? Was it Fond? Blitz
No,
getting the
I was
wallbang
Austin.
headshot.
It was Austin, yeah.
That wallbang, I had his drone and I was watching it, and I called stall 1, which is the closest stall towards like service entrance side of the building. I called stall 1 and he wallbanged.
Oh, so you had
you should've
intel
heard him.
basically.
Yeah, you should have heard him after that. He just started laughing like a maniac.
I would assume. I do that too when I get such a kill. So yeah, all in all, GG's. The last question I would have for you guys, and it's basically a generic question I ask basically every time, would be: has there been anything in Arson Esports' playstyle or strategies that kind of surprised you, throw you off guard, and that you might be
Honestly-
interested in incorporating into your own
Honestly, yeah.
strats
Like,
eventually?
what surprised? All right, so I got told to let you finish. Go ahead.
No, go ahead. So my question was: is there anything that you might want to, put into your own gameplay going forward?
No. No, not at all. We weren't surprised by anything they did, aside from the fact that they didn't do attack rounds with strat. They just droned and shot. Like, they didn't clear utility at all. A really good example would be the last defense on Cool, which I don't know who it was. Dropped the hatch instantly from Hookah, and he just got deleted because some played too.
I missed out on that kill as the observer, however, so I'm not exactly sure what you're referring to, but I get the picture.
What do you say? Sorry.
As the observer, I didn't see that exact kill you're referring to, so I didn't see it. I don't remember it, but I get the general idea.
Yeah, they didn't clear anything. We still, at the end of the round, we still had all our 3 castles up, so you can just melee them, hitting them 12 times if they didn't know. They burnt. They threw a Thatcher that got caught with an ADS. That's just poor droning. And they threw a Thatcher that missed. That's just poor gameplay. And then they threw a Thatcher which actually got the 1 ADS after they already burnt the 2 grenades they brought. You know, just be better, I guess. I'm telling them.
So basically, droning would be what Arson Esports was short on, basically.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So all around, nice game. GG's to you. And your next game is going to be on Friday, right?
It is. Versus
I believe
Dead
I'm going to be
Ocean
free, so I should be casting you guys again. But until then, once again, GG's and take care.
You too, man.
GG's.
All right, see
you
you guys.
Bye-bye.
So yeah, this is going to be just about it for the game tonight. Thank you all for being here. As far as I know, there's no game planned for tomorrow. So do not expect to stream tomorrow. Well, I might be streaming, just for fun by playing myself, but I don't expect this to happen. That was item number 1. Item number 2 is going to be our next game, which is going to be, like I said, this Friday. And also, I do host tournaments on Saturdays. But that is going to be it for us tonight. So thank you all for being here. It was a short one, of course, right? This is what happens when you only have a single game planned up. But all in all, thank you all for being here. See you guys on Friday. Rather, see you guys on Friday. And until then, take care.